Welcome
Hey.
to... Oh, hey.
Hey, buddy.
Hey, buddy. This is the Nobody Asked But Okay podcast.
Yep.
We just started this. This is our first official non-test run.
That is true. And my name is Matt.
My name is Chris.
And we're, like you just said,
Nobody asked.
but okay. Podcast.
So I guess this is what you do when you turn 30.
That's true.
And you just turned 30.
Back in January. I turned 30 back in January, and it's been
Yeah.
a struggle.
So it's been about a month now. A little over, right?
A little bit over.
How do you feel as a new 30-year-old? Because I've been in 30 for 2 years now.
Yeah.
And I feel good. What's
Well,
your experience?
Honestly, it was a struggle when I turned 30. I mean, I felt like life was ending because, for one, I didn't think I was going to be, I thought I was going to be deceased, as they say.
Yeah. You thought.
I thought, for one, only because just like the lifestyle I live, it's nothing crazy or erratic. It's just, who knew? Who
Are
knew?
you drinking
Drinking
hard
heavily,
drugs?
not hard drugs,
Just regular drugs? Like Tylenol?
for sure. Let me tell you, not sponsored, but NyQuil. I would do NyQuil and
Oh.
liquor every night,
God.
every other night.
How many
other
ulcers
night.
do you have?
I don't know, but guess what? I went to see the doctors, let's say a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
I got some challenging troublesome news because, for one, I haven't seen the doctors in about 12 to 13 years.
Well, because you turned into an adult and your parents stopped making your appointments for you.
That's not a lie. You're right about that. I had this one doctor, I'm not going to say any names, but only reason why I hated going to the doctors is because when I went, for one, you go at the time that you made your appointment.
Yeah.
And you wait an hour in the waiting room covered by people who cough. And imagine just waiting there,
And then you get sick yourself. You're not even there. You leave with something worse than what you came
Yeah.
in with.
Yeah.
So what happened with the most recent doctor's visit?
So I did the whole procedure, as one 30-year-old does. And my thing was, you know what? I'm a healthy man. I'm going to, brag about my past experience. I ran a marathon,
You
like,
did?
probably a few weeks after I turned 30.
It's an accomplishment.
Thank you.
You're one of those 0.
0.01%.
There you go. I'm so proud of you.
Thank you. It was a troubled time. It was a struggle. The only reason why I just want the audience to know, or the listeners,
We have a live audience.
we have a
today.
live audience, which is our friends. Not going to name names, but they're our close friends. They're out here supporting us while we camp.
I can feel I'm just basking in the moral support.
Oh, for sure. But going back to my story with the whole doctors, I went over there, did my whole blood work, passed with all flying colors, HIV and all that stuff. So hooray to me. I kid. I'm negative. But I came back and then the doctor was like, hey, we want to talk to you and get more information. And he was like, we saw something in your liver where we want to eliminate, liver cancer. I'm like, this is one reason, Chris, why I hate going to the doctors. Because they tell me something I didn't want to hear. Obviously, I don't have it, but
Yeah, well, they cleared it up, right?
yeah, they cleared it up.
You just need some more vitamin D.
Yeah, vitamin D. But they...
What was that? What kind of vitamin is that?
Vitamin D. They said stay out in the sun even though it's winter. But
Well, we live in Florida.
yeah, exactly.
It's a sunny day. Actually, we're not in Florida right now, but
Where are we?
I digress. South Carolina. Greenville?
Greenville, South Carolina.
Greenville, South Carolina. We just got a little getaway for the weekend.
Mhm.
We're staying in this really nice cabin. It's actually quite nice. We have bunk beds. I love bunk beds because then I get to feel like a child again.
Yeah,
But I'm not a child.
it's okay.
I'm an adult.
It was
I have responsibilities.
you're 32.
I pay bills.
That's true.
I'm 32 also.
All right. How's that going for you?
That's good. It's good. My knees feel great. I hear that's a big complaint amongst people as they age, but mine, I don't have any issues with my knees. So I'm glad. I'm hoping that holds out pretty well.
Well, as a 32-year-old, what advice can you give me?
Whew. 2 years of advice. What?
Because you've gone through a lot of, like, even before you hit 30, you've done and lived a life where you could possibly give advice to, like, let's say your younger self.
I got some stuff out of the way.
Okay, what do you mean?
Let's see. The value of communication. I feel like we communicate as friends pretty well. You know, a lot of people, they don't.
Sorry.
They don't. Eyes on me. Eyes on me.
Okay, you're right.
One piece of advice that I just made up, just right now in my head, is find someone to share your heart with.
Really?
No, that's just a quote that you told me about from a book.
Yeah, Tuesdays with Maury. Shout out to
I'm
him.
gonna read that book. Shout out, not a sponsor.
It's not, but it was a great book. I haven't even finished, but like page 2.
You know what? A good piece of advice I would give you is just get a good career. Nothing crazy, you know. Just focus, get a good career, and then you have a steady income, and it's like you live below your means. That's the trick. Live below your means, and life is just really much easier. Because if you don't have to worry about your shelter or your bills or anything like that, that's all taken care of, and you have some. You know, you're in the black at the end of the month. Then you can worry about things like existential dread and, you know, loneliness. And
You're not lonely, buddy.
I'm
You
not,
have us.
but I was.
I can understand that. Well,
I mean, I was. I mean, I got divorced. That's a bomb, isn't it? Before I turned 30, I did it. Well, I'm glad I got it knocked out before I was 30, though. I feel
There
like
we
that's
go.
probably a good thing.
at least you know one thing.
Now I know better.
For sure. Now you know what to look for in a relationship, what red
Yeah.
flags, and what you shouldn't do.
It's not until something like a huge relationship bomb drops that you
Yeah.
got to get that stuff out of the way so you can move on.
Exactly. I mean, and for one, ladies and
You
gents,
know.
I, too, I've never been divorced, so I can be lucky.
You've never been married.
I've never been married.
But, so Matt and I haven't always known each other. We only started really hanging out about, a year and a half now?
Hmm.
When we went to New York. We went to New York City.
Sorry, our friend Addie behind the camera.
We're not going to name names, but
What?
Addie, you can pick up your phone. He's struggling.
Think
behind the
about a
camera.
600-pound life struggling to pick up his phone. But-
So we bonded over. We went to the same other two friends that are on this trip with us. We went to New York City in 2022,
Hmm.
and we hung out. We bonded. We got to know each other a little better, and then we made further future travel plans last year, and we went to Japan for 2 weeks.
Wait, time out.
Yeah.
You're you know, brushing over what you actually said. So we were in New York, right? And then Chris, the four of us, we were just in bed, had bunk beds, and then out of nowhere, a faint, guys. What'd you say? Guys,
You can say it.
please make sure I don't travel alone next time. And the the three of us just busted out laughing, but it's true. You know, obviously I believe all of us, our friend group.
I
have
said
traveled.
that in jest, to be clear, but it is more fun. I
Yeah.
think I enjoy traveling alone. I think it's more fun to experience things
That's true.
with friends. I think I did enough traveling alone. Like it was good. But
Right.
I encourage everyone to travel alone. You find you really learn about yourself.
Be careful though, because
Yeah.
there was one time when I went to Seattle by myself, traveled alone,
Yeah.
and I was going down. It's obviously steep. I was riding a scooter going down. I see the numbers going up, increasing up in speed, and I straight up wipe out. And head first scraping on the pavement, and you just hear
Well,
one person doesn't even laugh, he doesn't say anything, but I can see his face and just the judgment. That was enough to be like, yeah, never
Well, hey,
traveling alone. I'm gonna travel
that's
with my friends, but it was
well,
fun.
but you wouldn't have learned that if you didn't travel alone.
That's true. Also, be careful. That's what
Yeah,
it is.
just be careful. Use your best judgment always.
Yeah.
Now, going back to Japan, so we went to New York. We were like, oh, we can tolerate each other. So then we planned the trip to go to Japan for 2 weeks over the summer,
Right.
and we learned that we bonded even further.
Why is that?
What was that? What was that?
Because our
we were-
significant others cheated on us.
We're the yeah. So
It's
and that's really where you know that's it's one thing to be in a relationship and break up because of like money or something.
right.
But when you're cheated on, it just turns your whole world upside down.
Oh, for sure.
Does a lot of damage, and you can either spiral into despair or you can, learn about yourself.
Right.
And I feel like we did a good job of doing that.
And I wouldn't say, find friends and connect with your most traumatic experience.
Don't
but
trauma bond,
Yeah.
but if it happens,
It happens. You just go on a trip with them, and
Yeah.
sooner or later, because that's one thing I didn't even know. Like, obviously, we all pretty much in our friend group have been cheated on,
Yeah.
and it's not fun. It's not,
No.
you spend years with that person thinking, hey,
A
this is a
I
person
think
that
in
I'm
our
gonna
case,
be
a decade, right?
I know,
You were with her
yeah.
a decade. Yours.
about a decade. Yeah.
Well,
No shame on them, no hateful things. It's just life came at us, and it became something better than what we expected to have with that significant other.
You think life sucks when it happens, and then things just kind of you get a gym membership,
Mm.
and then people start commenting how good your arms look,
Mm.
and the rest is history.
Mhm.
Life is good.
That too.
So not that this isn't like a relationship
It's not.
podcast or anything. This is just about life.
We're just two
whatever.
guys talking.
We're just
Talking
two
to
guys.
a podcast.
Talking about stuff that nobody asked about,
Exactly.
but that's okay.
But you were talking about Japan.
Oh yeah, you want to talk about Japan?
Let's
There's
do
a
it.
lot. We can talk about Japan.
We
all
can
day.
talk about it. Yeah.
This Japan was amazing.
Hmm.
How about you start? What stands out about Japan for you?
My awe moment.
Yeah.
That I can't actually explain or tell because it's something that it's a different story.
It's really personal. Maybe in
Personal
the future.
in the
And,
future.
that's
Subscribe to our Patreon.
subscribe to our Patreon. Let's make a Patreon. Let's put that on the to-do
There you
list to
go.
make a
Yeah,
Patreon.
sure.
Now, maybe this is the last time we should do a live audience.
Probably.
Probably. It's distracting,
For sure.
but we still love the moral support coming from the audience, from our friend that we don't want to name names, but Addie is the name that I want to name. Anyway, we can talk about Japan all day.
Yeah, we can talk about that later.
That's another episode. That's a full
yeah.
episode. Okay, let's move on.
Okay, back to 30. Sorry. So obviously we kind of did a quick brush over on your divorce,
Yeah.
but you got that out of the way, and then now you're thriving. I feel like that because of that you're a better person. I didn't know you before you were married, but I can see the success, the loyalty of a friend you are,
Oh,
all that stuff. I'm just naming,
Stop it.
bragging about you.
you don't have to do that, but go on.
Yeah. Well, hey.
I'm kidding. Brad, what would I do without friends like you?
Hmm.
Is this just a big circle jerk?
Seems like it.
No, but I feel like when you have significant, not only divorce, anything. It could be anything. It could be the
Mhm.
death of a loved one, the death of a cat or a hamster,
Mm-hmm.
or moving to a new city. Who knows? I don't know. I'm not a doctor.
Mm-hmm.
What I do know is that I've found more close friends, higher quality people to hang out with, and just friends, and even in my D&D group, friends to travel with. So it was that like what you did, kind of. I feel like you have good friends, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah,
That's important because then you're not lonely. You're not lonely anymore.
that's true.
Also, I feel like getting divorced and everything that came after it. Like I started reading more in general, going, working on maintaining my physical health.
Right.
I feel like it made me a better communicator.
Right.
You
Good.
know? So yeah.
You know, you have those yes ands, and here I am. It's like, yeah,
Yeah.
mhm,
Yeah.
sure.
Yes, and
Yes and.
yes, and just say no.
But okay, so with that,
My advice.
yeah,
Going back to my advice. Learn to respect yourself, take care of yourself,
mhm,
and just get out there. Do things. Go
Mhm.
dancing. Go hiking. Travel.
yeah, because
Go to yoga classes.
with all that, I mean, you picked up a lot of new hobbies as
did.
as I have.
Mhm.
We kind of picked up a few things together, like surfing and
Yeah,
just
that's
traveling
right.
and doing all these things. But the I think, when I was with my person, I was stuck in you know, I was the biggest simp with over that person. It's sad because for one, I didn't know who I was, and I
Mhm.
feel like after we broke up, or we parted ways. Um, I think I found more of myself, and I am more happier.
Yeah, it's good.
So,
More happier is what the goal is.
oh, for sure.
You know, I think you did the right thing. You could have been like becoming like an incel. You know, we all know people like that. Or you can, just get out there and be happy.
There you go. Yeah. And then, in other words, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, all right. Well, um, I'm sure other topics that are related will come up in the future.
Oh, for sure, for sure.
As we do more episodes and talk about life and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But so how about what hobbies did you pick up?
So
in
for
recent
one,
years?
in recent years,
Yeah.
I would say, um, you know, I do this thing where I try to find new hobbies. One thing for sure, I do like, going out, me and you going surfing,
Mhm.
attempting to surf.
Attempting to surf.
Attempting to surf, get wet, because for one, you know,
We stand up sometimes.
we stand
A
up
little bit.
sometimes. It's not that we're not like Johnny Tsunami where we're actually
Not-
catching waves and
Not yet.
hey, when we do, and when I find out, once my 23andMe comes back, and I find out I'm 0.01% Polynesian, I am embracing it. I'm gonna be doing chihus everywhere I go, and I'm just gonna, umblock everywhere I go, umblock. So, but once that 23andMe comes out and I'm half Polynesian,
There you
that's what
go.
it is.
Because that 0.0003% equates to half
Oh,
naturally.
that's that's boy math. But I'm telling you, so what I've been doing is I've been picking up, like, attempting to do new things. So like at work, there's a bunch of people who do puzzles.
Mhm.
And I thought it would be a great idea to spend time and put a puzzle together. It was a puzzle I bought from Amazon where it was the city or the skyline of London.
Mm.
I've had that puzzle for 2 months now.
Have you touched it?
I touched it and then realized because it was on my dining room table, I needed to use it for a Super Bowl party. I straight up put what I gathered for the past 2 months and put it back in the box. Yeah,
How many pieces was it?
1,000.
1,000?
And I only put 3 pieces together.
That's respectable.
3 pieces together, Chris. So when I say I do hobbies or I have hobbies,
You explore hobbies,
I
and then you
explore.
decide whether or not you want to explore them anymore.
right,
Whether you want to dive into it.
right.
Like surfing, I feel like is worthwhile. Like diving.
Mhm.
Maybe you'll dig into puzzling.
One
in
of
your
these.
50s or something.
Yeah, when I have more time.
Yeah. When
When
your
I-
knees give out and you can't run anymore.
That too. And let's say There's so much money I spent on like exploring on hobbies. Puzzling was one. Crocheting was the
Oh,
other.
yeah?
My goal was by the end of the years to.
Can I commission like some slippers or something?
Sure.
Some socks?
Yeah, that was going to be my gift to you guys for Christmas, is attempt to crochet and make beanies or socks.
A
or
beanie would be
something.
cool.
Yeah, but so far, I have this issue where I think I'm not diagnosing myself. I was never diagnosed, but I'm gonna say I have ADHD. Huh?
What?
Whoop.
You okay?
But I don't. But it's hard to figure something or finish something. So hey.
You know, we were out here reading,
Mhm.
and I was reading, you were reading, and I
Yeah.
feel like we weren't distracting, and I think nature had something to do with that.
That's true.
I think being out in nature. So whatever your hobbies are, be it I like video games. you
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
Video games are cool. That's a cool hobby, but moderation is the key, and you should absolutely choose a hobby that gets you out in nature.
That's true. Just being out here, we've been here for what? Less than 24 hours.
Yeah.
And I feel a whole, like, in peace. I feel in
You can hear the wind.
that.
You can hear the wind before you feel it
Hmm.
rustling through the trees.
For sure. Our friend almost just tripped because I think he is
He's trying to sneak away.
sneak away and just go ahead and get, I don't know what he's getting, but this is interesting. Having a live audience is
Yeah,
tough.
I kind of like it.
Yeah,
it's,
you do?
It's challenging, but it's fun.
Yeah.
It's fun. We need a healthy amount of disrespect
Yeah.
to keep us humble.
Yeah.
So that's good.
And again, I know this podcast seems like it's everywhere, and we're hopefully the more
We're
we
gonna
do-
reel it in,
right.
or maybe we won't. I don't know. I can't predict the future.
Yeah, we'll get better at this. I feel like
I
we
think
will.
we will.
We have interesting stories, and again, I just turned 30. We're still young. 30 is the new 20,
You
they
have
say.
30 years of stories, not really, because you don't remember like a lot of it.
I just
but
remember the past 10.
Maybe 25, 10.
Hmm.
Okay.
I used to eat lunch in the bathroom in sophomore year of high school. Did you know that?
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I was a bum.
We're gonna dig into that.
Yeah, we will.
We're gonna dig into that. I want to explore that with you.
Okay.
Let's see. I want to tell the story about the shoes in Japan.
Let's do it.
Not now.
Not now? Okay.
Later.
Next time.
Cliffhanger.
Next time.
Cliffhanger.
I want to tell you more because I want to tell you
Next
about.
time
Oh,
on the Nobody Asked But Okay podcast.
there it is.
Is that cool?
That
I
works.
feel like I want to be a voice actor, kind of like a little bit. I have a little bit of a desire to be a voice actor, but I don't have too much range. But I think when I do find that my voice acting niche,
That's crazy.
the crows want to be on. I love. You know what? Life goal. I
Yeah.
want to befriend crows. I want to like give crows. Because if you give crows like a gift, like snacks, they'll like
Oh.
learn to trust you,
Okay.
and then they'll bring you like gifts, like a shiny pebble or something.
I saw that. It was
And
like,
then you just get to hang out with crows. Like, how cool would that be?
huh.
Talk about being one with nature. Anyway,
I'll be friends with the crackhead. But other than that,
either way, you're well on your way. That's another story.
that's another story for sure. On next time.
On the, I almost said the other podcast.
Oh, we can name drop Three Nerds podcast.
My other pod, the Three Nerds podcast,
Yeah.
which I'm also, that's kind of in limbo, but
Mhm.
that's a whole other thing. Not trying to plug that.
Yeah.
We have like, our latest episode got 10 listens.
Nice.
If we get 11 listens on this episode, we'll be golden.
For sure.
We'll be more successful than another
I'll ask
podcast.
my family.
You have a big family.
I
That's
do.
awesome. Anyway, next time on the Nobody Asked But Okay podcast.